Yeah, that didn't age well.
What are you doing, Sparrow?
Y'all have been seeing the controversy that's been surrounding Monique. She's out there in Club Shay Shay.
Tell the damn truth. God damn it, tell the truth.
And yeah, some people catch a lot of stray. However, one person that quickly responded to this whole controversy was Mr. D.L. Hughley.
All right, I'm taking time to respond to Monique again. She made another greasy ass video with her daddy. We kind of relitigating some of the stuff she said on Club Shay Shay, where she talked about how she was on the show and somebody, they played a game, Would You Rather? And I guess she felt like they insulted her husband's sexuality, which is interesting because she can always talk shit about everybody else's sexuality.
D.L. Hughley. So yeah, he was a bit salty about the whole scenario. However, one of the things that he actually mentioned why he was calling Monique fat and her husband a simp, or her daddy, he, tend to, refer to him as, which I will get back to the subject later. And it was something about Monique's lack of success. She cannot write a decent joke, and she's not funny, and that's why her Netflix special flopped. All these yada, 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 yada.
I said that if you spent as much time writing your Netflix special as you did arguing about getting it, it wouldn't have been trash. It was.
Right? But that comment didn't really age too well.
This female right here is from Baltimore, Maryland, by way of Baltimore, Maryland. Give it up for Monique. Let's go.
Because, as you can see here, this is Monique in a standing up ovation. No, am I even saying it right? Standing ovation. Yep, there you go. It's my Haitian in me. The standing ovation. And she was on stage because Cat Williams taking her on tour with him. And the crowd seemed to be loving her. Now you may say, but Haitian. Comedy is subjective. People might be just applauding for her because they see the Club Shay Shay and they standing up for her. They just on Team Monique or something like that. Yeah, perhaps that is true. Or maybe perhaps that she's actually really talented. And then now it's 2024 and people are sticking up together. People who have been wrongly that have been abused in this industry decide to now create their own path and getting together and to let their talent shine instead of this whole thing that we're seeing here on Hollywood. I get it because some people, when it comes to Monique, they say like, well, for some reason, troubles follow her wherever she goes. She's maybe she's the common denominator. She's the one. She's the one that's the troublemaker. You might be right. Because there are these type of people out there that always, wherever they go, they start shit. Wherever they go, they just start some BS with people. Like, let's say, the prick lady. Or, people like this in your family and your friends, and you know it. However, there is also sometimes a coordinated effort when you are surrounded, when you work in the industry that depend on your silence when abuse is taking place, and then you're supposed to keep your mouth shut, and then whenever somebody dare speaking out, then you have a coordinated effort to take that person down. And you see it happen to Cat Williams. You see it happen once to Dave Chappelle. You see it happen to so many other comedians or actors that dare to speak out against the narrative. A lot of time, despite all the BS they try to push to you, like the Me Too movement, the this and the that, let's face it, all of these people were friends with, Weinstein or Harvey Weinstein, whatever his name is, right? And they didn't really say anything until it was safe for them to keep their, to open their mouths. So they're full of crap. Going back to D.R. Hughley, it seems to be a pattern whenever he's addressing Monique. The many things that he tried to emphasize on is the fact that Monique is fat, therefore she's not worthy of being loved. And then, she's she's taking care of her husband, and like the sheer disrespect for their relationship.
Me, like you don't know him. You also intimated that I was coward. You know what I'd never do? I would never let my woman take care of me. I would never let my woman get evicted from her apartment. I would never let my woman has to ask another man for money. I'd never do that. Can your old man say the same? He loves you. Of course, he gotta say that. You claim him on your taxes. He's a dependent. He's sitting there with you right now. And everything. Because it ain't like he does anything else.
I had the chance to think about it, why he actually viewed their relationship as such. And the conclusion that I came up with is that I believe some people see relationship as a power dynamic, and they use leverage in order to have the hierarchy in that relationship. Whereas, for most men, it's financial leverage, which is why when you have like red pill guys talking, they're like, well, you know what? A woman making more money than a man, she cannot respect him. To a certain degree, that is true. You have some women out there, as soon as they make a little bit of more money than their men, then they start to emasculate their men and stuff, right? Which, understandable. However, when you come across a woman that doesn't do that actually respect her husband, that admire her husband, despite the fact that she's a breadwinner, you would have think like, oh wow, that's a shining example of what women should do.
I knew I was getting somebody I could trust because I just needed somebody that I could just try, like my brother stole from me. I just needed somebody that I could just trust, and I didn't want to keep on having randoms.
Right.
Because that gets old after a while.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
You're trying to fill the void.
Right.
And men go through that as well as women. You just get tired of So I knew I could trust him. But I didn't know he was the king that he was, Shannon. I didn't know that I would be raised. And there are women that have a problem with me saying that, and I will not back down from it. I did not know that man would take me from a 15-year-old mentality. Even though I'm a star, I'm famous, I got a few dollars in my bank account, but still had that little girl mentality. You can't correct me, you can't say nothing to me, you can't check me, you can't do none of that. Still had that way. That man was able to shut all of that down.
So if a woman, right, making more money than your men, and you still actually have the respect and admiration for your men, is that a bad thing? So why the need to feel like you have to disrespect the guy because for some reason he makes less money than her, or she's the breadwinner, she's the man, she's the one that brings home the bacon, and you feel like he's not man enough because how dare you allow your woman to make more money than you?
I cannot understand a man that lets a woman take care of him. Whatever that makes me is what it is. And women cannot inherently respect you.
Yeah.
My daddy said one thing. It's weird because I'm doing this interview a day after my father's birthday, and it's a weird thing. But he said, never let a woman answer the door when bad news is knocking.
Okay, that's an interesting one. Okay.
Because in the end, if they have to make all the decisions and pay all the bills and do all the hard shit, what the fuck are you?
Yeah.
What are you?
And I think guys like D.L. Hughley, they look at it from a perspective of like, well, if I wasn't making money, perhaps my woman wouldn't even be with me. And they use their financial leverage as a way to be like, I'm the prize, I'm the man in the house, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So then he cannot fathom a relationship that is based on love and admiration. He see it more as a power dynamic. Because let's face it, like I said before, I don't think his women respect him like that. Especially the fact that he had a child out of wedlock and he was praying to God that God will solve that problem for him.
Oh, you had a baby outside of your marriage.
Sure.
And the boyfriend of the mother ended up killing the child?
Sure. Shook it or...
How old was this child?
9 months.
9 months old.
And I remember praying that God would take this off me. All that time. I was like... And instantly, I thought two things. My prayer was answered. And it was the worst thing that ever
In the worst
happened.
possible way, it was answered, yeah.
So
We all know when guys that cheat, and then it's hard to get that respect back from your woman because they will always use your cheating as a way to win an argument. Like,
You gonna another chick again, huh? Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna go to your side bitches and actually because
dish don't look clean. We all know it. We all know it. So then now, imagine with D.L. Hughley, he sees the admiration that Monique has for her husband, and I think deep down that's eating him up. And that's why he's like, oh, you have to pay for your love. You're not worthy of being loved, so you have to pay somebody to...
How do you love us for real when there's no evidence of anybody loving you for real, except your daddy, who you apparently have to pay? And FYI, daughters are paid for by daddies, not daddies who get paid by their daughters.
That's your situation. You try to project on Monique because she still respects her husband despite the fact that she's the breadwinner.
I sipped on that, Shannon. That was a sip. That required a sip.
Last but not least, I also like the fact that people are putting in integrity first in their business practices. They're trying to get into a position where it's not about blackballing. It's not about they're trying to, decent people are getting together to try to create a parallel entertainment industry away from the old, because let's face it, that's just crumbling now, right? All these industries that rely on blackmail, that rely on blackballing, that rely on this power dynamic where they can squeeze every little juice out of the creator and then not pay them anything, not fairly compensating them, and their days are numbers, and I freaking love it. But anyway, let's see you. I am your host, The Haitian. So share, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out of here. Peace.
Because family is sacred.
It's supposed to be.
And we don't cross the line with family. And people begin to get comfortable to jump on the Monique bandwagon of Monique doing things wrong, and she doing this and she doing